Chump Game here. Welcome to another episode coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com. You know, someone asked me a question the other day, and no one ever asked me a question like this. They asked me, how do you prove that a white person is a racist? Oh, man. How do you prove that a white person is a racist? And unfortunately, it's a very difficult thing to do. And it's damn near impossible. And I'm going to break it down to you based on my experiences. Because I had a little experience like this when I was in the Navy. And it happened again once I got out the Navy, when I moved to North Carolina. And, you know, I learned that the number one rule while being in the Navy is all white people are racist. All white people are racist. Now, you might be asking, why would I say a thing like that? Because white people they're in control of all the resources. They have access to all the resources that the rest of us don't. And so they're in a power position, and they can tell us what to do. They can rename us, reclassify us. They can move us out of the neighborhoods. They can deny us access to loans and grants and education and a lot of stuff. They can deny us passports. They can deny us diploma. They can deny us damn near everything. You know, there's always a white person that's making the final decision. But what happens is a lot of people, black people, and a lot of people, just non-white people, get confused because the person they talking to on the front line is a person that looks like them. But if you pull the curtains back and go deeper, what you're going to find out, the person that's really pulling the strings, indirectly or directly, is a white person. And I learned this when I was in the Navy. Because being in the Navy, you get to travel and go to all these countries. And you meet some diplomats and you see what's really going on behind the scenes. And it's not like what you watching on television. Not even close. You know? So, all white people are racist, but I don't walk around making claims telling them that they're racist. Because it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And if you walk around making claims on people, the burden of proof is on you. You have to do the work. You have to prove that what you're saying is true. That's in court. That's on your job. That's that's everywhere. That's just across the board. So what you want to do is, if you're on your job and you're being mistreated and you suspect that somebody is a racist, what you want to say is, I suspect that this person is mistreating me because of this action and that and this and that. That's how you want to say that. You don't want to come out and say, hey, you don't want to make a bold statement, a bold claim, because the burden of proof is going to be on you. And what happens is, in this system, they got it so sold up and so tight, it's damn near impossible to get to prove that someone's a racist. Because the only way that I've seen that a white person has been proven to be a racist is by either directly or indirectly, through another white person. Because I've seen black people or non-white people have, a long list of people, long list of claims saying this white person's a racist, but it doesn't go anywhere because that's just how the system works. I've seen black people on the news saying this person is mistreating us for years. This person's a racist. And even cops. You can't even make a claim against a cop saying he's racist. It's always a white person has to co-sign it, either directly or indirectly. And the claim has to be either a written statement, or a recording, or that person has to be there directly. But here's the deal. I've never seen a white person say directly, making a claim against another white person, saying this person's racist. I've never seen it like that before. What I've seen written statements with a signature. It could be a dead man. A dead man's signature has more power than a black person that's living today. That sounds crazy, but it's true. And if you don't believe it, you go try it out. I've seen written statements, and I've seen recordings. That's just like, for example, like the OJ case. The reason why OJ got off is because that cop was proven to be a racist because of the recordings, right? But if it wasn't for that, OJ would have went down. Whether you believe he done it or not, I don't believe he done it. Because I met OJ in person. He ain't no killer. I've known killers all my life, but he ain't no killer. But whether you agree with that or not, if it wasn't for that cop on recording saying racist slangs, OJ would have went down. He wouldn't have got off. But they still ended up getting him anyway, so it doesn't matter. But the point I'm trying to make is the reason why he got off because they had the cop on tape saying what he was saying. So that's why the system is so tight the way they got it, man. It's like you can't really make any claims, bold claims, without a white person co-signing it, either in print or recording or directly. Otherwise, it's not going to go anywhere. And if you don't believe it, try it, because I've tried it in the past. The first time it happened to me, and I had a white guy in the Navy. He really broke that whole shit down. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, it's not what you know, man. It's what you can prove. And when you go in these courtrooms, it's not about who's right, who's wrong. It's about what you can prove. It's about, you got your paperwork together. You got your story together. Are your claims believable? And you got, you just got to have your shit together, especially if you're in a job environment. Because if you're in a job environment, the game is to have you running around in circles, not being able to get anything done. If you work for a big company, whether it's a state or a private company or whatever, there's a good chance that if anything happens, you're going to be running around in circles. You're going to be calling this person. They're going to say, hey, call this person. They're going to be like, hey, I'll get back to you in a couple of days. And a month or two go by, you haven't gotten anything done yet. And it's designed that way. It's really designed that way. So really, the only thing I've seen that worked to an extent is when I know this woman, she got an attorney one time, And when you get an attorney, first off, first off, you're gonna have a hard time. If you decide to get an attorney, you're gonna have a hard time trying to find a local attorney to even take your case. Because what happens is a lot of these attorneys are getting paid by the big businesses in your town. So you're probably gonna have to go out of your town, maybe out of state, to get an attorney to take your case. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, an attorney will only take your case if he can win. And if he thinks he can win, he'll take it. And all the company is going to do is cash out. They're just going to give you your money, whatever it is, $50,000, $100,000, $200,000, whatever. It just depends on the claim that's being made. All they do is cash out because they don't really want to go to court because they don't want the bad press, So you just cash out, take your money, go about your business. Because what you have to understand is these big companies, they got this money in the budget. They got big budgets. They got and the company I used to work for, G4S, I think they had a $500 million budget. And that's just in America. That's not worldwide. Just in America, they had a $500 million budget. So they got the money set aside for these claims. And a lot of these companies got the claims game down so tight. They know that every 3 to 7 years, at each branch, they'll have one claim where they have to cash out. So they got it down to a science, man. And I didn't even know none of this shit until, after I've been working there for a long period of time, a couple of years. And, once you get to know people and the higher ups, they'll tell you certain shit once you get them drunk at the bar or something like that. So yeah, man, it's really difficult to prove that someone's a racist. That's why you never make any bold claims unless you can prove it. But there's a good chance you're not going to be able to prove it up front. Because a lot of white people, they're not stupid. They know. They're aware of what they're doing. They're aware of what's going on in society. And a lot of black people and a lot of non-white people just in general, they get confused because what happens is, see, you might have relationships with white people, right? And y'all might be cool or whatever, but you have a personal relationship with that person. There's a personal relationship and then there's a business relationship. Which, see, most white people, they cut a line, they have a line, they draw the line in between. There's business and there's personal. When it's time to do business, it's time to do business. When it's time to be personal, it's time to be personal. That's it. But a lot of black people, non-white people, we don't understand that. We try to combine both. We get all emotional. We be like, hey, what's up with that? I thought we were friends. Why you did me like this? Why you did me like that? And then the white person usually say, hey, no hard feelings. It's just business. And that's how it is. That's this society and the system that we live in. And because all white people are racist except the babies. And the babies are too young. They have to be taught to be a racist. Because you have to understand, most white people, they don't get taught directly how to function in society. They pick it up through osmosis. They sit back and watch their parents and grandparents. And once they get to about 12, 13 years of age, maybe they stay, maybe they play, maybe the kids play around non-white kids. So the parents might say, hey, you're not going to be able, I know you cool with little Johnny that's up the block, but you're not going to be able to see them as much as you used to, So they might say something like that once they get older. But by the time, the average white person, by the time they hit 14 or 15 years old, they know what time it is. They know that they have more access to resources, and they can reach out and touch things that the rest of us can't. On average. That's how that is. So that's really how you prove that a white person is racist, really. You're going to need a lot of help from third-party resources, attorneys, if you can afford it, and you're going to need a white person to co-sign you, indirectly or directly. Print, whatever you get access to, but trying to use all black people to prove your case, prove your point, it's invalid. It's not going to happen. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel. Check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, Shump King is out. Peace.